What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypt Door podcast. I am Tony. I hope you're all doing well since the last time we talked. And speaking of the last time we talked, this episode is going to be something probably of the same vein, maybe on the same road a little bit. We're going to talk about things that I've heard, things that I've seen, things I've read, why some spirits stay behind. Most people assume death is a doorway that only opens one way. But what if some people never fully walk through it? Tonight, we're talking about why some spirits stay behind. Not as ghosts in stories, not as type horror movie type things, not as shadows in the corner, but as something far more complicated and far more human. Because if consciousness continues, then intention matters. And intention doesn't always disappear at death. This episode is about attachment, awareness, memory, identity, and the idea that not everyone leaves at the same pace. Some leave instantly, some linger briefly, and some stay. The question is not if this happens, but why. Across reports, cultures, and belief systems, one idea repeats. Death is not always immediate disconnection. Reports suggest awareness can continue briefly. Identity remains intact. Perception changes, not ends. This matters because a conscious being can choose, and choice changes everything. Why some move on instantly. Some reports say acceptance, peace, completion, and emotional closure. These individuals leave quickly, sometimes immediately. They don't linger because there's nothing holding them. The most common reason spirits are believed to stay: attachment, not anger, not malice, not revenge. Attachment. Here's some of the types of attachment reported: people, children, spouses, and parents. Places, homes, land, graves. Identity, titles, roles, reputation. And emotion, guilt, regret, unfinished apologies. These attachments don't vanish just because the body stops. Why attachment is so powerful. Identity doesn't disappear at death. If someone was a protector in life, they may continue to fill that role. If someone was wronged, they may still feel unheard. Places where spirits are been reported to remain. Contrary to popular belief, most reported activity happens in homes, not cemeteries. Cemeteries are places of rest. Homes are places of memory. Now, why would some spirits attach to cemeteries? Cemeteries become important when burial was meaningful. Identity is tied to legacy. Remembrance matters. They aren't trapped, they return. Here's something we talked about in the last episode: mausoleums and enclosed structures. Enclosed spaces concentrate emotion, amplify awareness, create quiet, and quiet is key. Spirits aren't louder than the world, they're quieter. Now, who experiences staying spirits and how? Repeating patterns in some witnesses. Those who report encounters often aren't looking for them, remain calm, feel curiosity instead of fear, and describe awareness, not shock. Fear usually comes after interpretation, not during the experience. Children often report people who don't live here, seeing relatives they never met, conversations dismissed by adults. Most stop reporting once corrected. Here's another question: are spirits aware that they're dead? This varies. Some reports suggest full awareness, partial confusion, or complete acceptance. Confusion is rare, but powerful when reported. From what I've read, now let's address what most people really wonder. Are these spirits trapped? Most traditions say no. They stay because they choose to, even if unconsciously. Choice doesn't require understanding. Or another one: can the living help them move on? Many belief systems say yes, through acknowledgement, remembrance, release, and forgiveness. Sometimes being noticed is enough. Why don't they just speak clearly? Because communication may not work the way it does here. Think about signal interference, different states of awareness, limited overlap between worlds. Clarity may not be possible, only impression. Should we fear spirits that stay? Fear comes from misunderstanding. The vast majority of reports suggest neutrality, calm, observation, and presence without harm. Silence is not threat. So far, guys, what do you think? Throw it out in the comment box below. Like I said, I could do when I'm doing these episodes, I can do another episode link to it through your comments and your questions. Like I said, you guys all contact me different ways. You contact me through the email, you contact me through comments, you contact me through social media DMs. Let me know what you guys think. And like I said, again, I could do a whole new episode on what you guys are saying, like a question and answer kind of thing or something. If some spirits stay behind, maybe it isn't because they're lost. Maybe it's because something still matters. The world doesn't end at death, it changes. And change doesn't happen instantly for everyone. Sometimes staying behind is not a failure to move on, but a reflection of how deeply someone lived. All right, guys, thank you all so much for joining me on this one. Like I said, let me know. Let me know how what you feel, what you're thinking. Shit, if we got people out there with, some experiences, maybe I'll have them on the podcast at some point. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for joining me on this one. What will the next one be? I don't know. I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Thanks, guys. You can find this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and most places where you consume your podcasting content. Thank you all so much, and I'll talk to you later.